Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I am bringing you part 2 of my Atelier Dreams stamp overview. So today we're going to go through the expression sets. So here are the 2 and the 4 current punny minis right here. So I'll leave all the links down below for the different sets that I'm going to be showing, as well as a list of the colors that I'll be using and anything else that will pop up. So basically the premise of the expressions and punny mini sets are that each face is blank and you can add your own expressions to it. What I love about these sets is because of that customization aspect of these stamps. So just a preface, I'll be showing you some examples that I have put in my planner, as well as we will be doing a live demonstration of some of the stamps that Tally has expressed to me that some people have questions about and they're not exactly sure how to use them. So today I'm going to be showing you how I personally use them. Okay, so put those aside and let's go into the examples. So here I have an example of stamping onto colored sticker paper and then cutting them out and sticking them in my planner. These are actually 2 pieces, so I stamped out the hair, stamped out the face on a different colored sticker paper, cut that out, pasted it on, and that's what I get. So this is the same one I used. So I colored this sticker paper using markers and alcohol, and it's similar to like a smushing technique that I've seen Inkie Quill do. I'll link her channel down below. I love Adele's channel. So I colored marker on some clear acetate. I sprayed it with alcohol and then I smushed my sticker paper and then let it dry. So it has like this marbled watercolor effect almost. So that's basically what I did. Here's an example of stamping it in black ink and just coloring it with color pencils. I've also used the frame from the frame set, and I'll also be showing a demonstration of how I do this. A masking technique is involved, but it's pretty simple. So next I have some examples of just using colored ink to ink up the images. Right here as well. Here and here. The Fresh Beets and Oso Jelly sets are quite specific in that they have a fill-in stamp. So basically you stamp the outline, ink up the filler stamp in the color that you want, and you stamp it over the outline. Now if you see, I made a mistake. No, I didn't make a mistake, I just didn't stamp it right on top of the outline, but I like that because it kind of gives a 3D effect. So that is using these filler stamps. Next we have more just using colored ink, but I did the technique of using a different color paper to make the hair. So I have that there as well. Now these aren't in Tally sets, I just basically drew a party hat shape, cut it out, stuck it on. Here is an example of black ink and colored it in, and this is a more light shaded colored in. More colored in right here. I used markers here so the colors are a little bit more vibrant, and here I used colored pencils and you can see how soft it is. But I have also examples of using colored pencils quite hard where it looks almost like a marker. Like here for example. I used these Prismacolors. These aren't exactly the full-on Prismacolors, these are the Scholar set, so they're much cheaper than the regular Prismacolors, and I think they work just as well. So I used these colored pencils to color in these images on regular paper, and then I used my Xyron sticker maker to make the stickers. So these 3 are stickers, and this one I just stamped directly onto my insert. This snorkel is from the Oso Jelly set, and you can see that this size fits onto the faces as well. So you're not limited to use this particular stamp with just this set. You can mix and match. So here's another example. I stamped it on paper, colored it in, and made it a sticker. And I also made this little accessory. I just drew it on, colored it in, and stuck it on. Next we have more stickers that I made right here as well. I made these little elf hats. And here's how I created a character out of one of the animals, and I used the animal as a base. So I used the koala as a base, and I stamped it in some light ink, and then I used a Sharpie marker to create the different features that I wanted. So this is supposed to look like an Ewok, and I just colored it in. So you can do lots of things with these, and I'll give you some more examples in a bit. So here, this is just using colored ink, and I still think they look really cute like that. You don't necessarily have to do it like this, which is a full-on colored image. Okay, so those are the examples in my planner, and I've also made these tabs. Now I used, like I said, you can use these expressions as the base for different characters. So I made Avatar: The Last Airbender inspired top tabs. Let's move this out of the way. So they're here. I used this stamp as a base for this character. 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 Now I'll be doing a separate video on how I specifically do that, but I just wanted to give you an idea, and I'm pretty sure you can figure out how I did it. So I've made those. I've also made these clips with the expressions. So I stamped out the hair on printed out sticker paper. So I've made clips. I've made these 3 clips, as well as the alpaca. And I plan on making a lot more in the future. So those are some examples. I've also made these bookmarks with the minis as well. And I used different elements, like this is from the alpaca set, and the speech bubble is from Me Time, as well as this sentiment, No Spend. This is from Studio L2E. This was before Tally had her Positive Duo set. So I made these as well. Okay, so I guess we're gonna go into the live demo. The koala, and so just mount on the block. Let's find a space. We'll do it right here. I'm going to be using this Versacolor ink in Peony. Really pretty color. So we stamp it. Oh, cute. And then I'm going to be using, actually we're going to need 2 versions, so I'm going to do it again. Because the koala has such a large nose, I want to show you how you can make each expression work for this one. So if I were to put the expression down here, it looks a little weird because the eyes are so low. Now what you can do to fix that is just ink up the eyes, do those first. The eyes, do those first. Whoop. There you go. And then ink up the mouth. And then stamp that after. There you go. So you see how that looks a little bit better? Unless you like that look, then by all means please do that. but I just wanted to show you different ways on how you can do that. Okay, moving on to the frame. So here is the frame set. So it's this one right here. Oh, so mount that on the block using this Versacolor Cyan. Stamp the frame. Then we have just a regular post-it. I put it over the line, well most of the line, so I can still see where I'm gonna be putting the face. Oops. I'm gonna be using the cat from the first expression set in the same color and stamp it right in the center. Or you could do left, right, whatever, however you want the character to sway one side or another. Oh, so there you go. Now before we completely remove the mask, I'm gonna stamp the expression, because sometimes if you place your stamp a little too low, so say for example if you stamp halfway down, with an expression like this, sometimes the mouth will not, you won't see the mouth, and if you stamp it without the mask on, you'll have the mouth on the frame, and that ruins the whole effect. So my suggestion would be to keep the mask on and stamp the expression while you have it on. Boop. So in the first expression set, you have two different noses for the animals. I'm going to use the open face nose, no, the not filled in nose. Now, because these stamps are so small, the placement is quite hard, but it just takes some practice. I still don't get it perfect every time, which is, it's totally fine. No animal is perfect, right? I mean, I guess they could be. What am I saying? Shut up, Jackie. Okay. So we just center it onto the face. This is hard. Let's see. Above the mouth. Oh, not too bad. I'll zoom in for you. See? So cute. So that's how you do the frames. So stamp the frame, place a mask, stamp the face, stamp the expression, remove the mask, and there you go. Now, I just want to give you a preview of what I am working on, and it is putting two characters behind the frame and just adding these lines to, so it looks like their arms are holding it. You can see their arms holding it. See, so you can do that. That's basic masking, but I also masked off. I stamped her first, masked her off, and then stamped the guy, so it looks like he's behind her. So that's another example. Okay, so now I'm going to be moving on to the fill-in punny mini stamps. So here we go. So first we'll stamp the outline. Just going to use some black ink. Let that dry a little. And we're gonna go with the filler stamp. I don't know the technical term for these, but the solid stamp, the coordinating stamp, I don't know. So now we will ink it up. Let's just use this purple, it's pretty. Now you can either ink it up quite light, and let's just do an example of that. Quite light, like that, or like full on ink it up, or leave a space so that it doesn't look like it's all filled up, so it looks like it's a little bit more 3D, like I did here. Let's just go full on ink it up. How about that? So now all you have to do is get it as centered as you can and stamp. Oh, I didn't do too bad there. Now it looks more like a radish than a beet, but it's still cute. So that's the filler stamp of the body. And then we're gonna do the top, the greenery. Do some green turquoise gem. And the greenery. Oh, didn't get it centered, but it's okay. But how cute is that? And then we'll just put a little face on him. I like this spirally face from the Alpaca set. Kind of like dizzy. He's dizzy. Oh, cute. Cute, cute, cute. Next is the jelly set. Now, because there are so many elements that go into the squid, it gets a little confusing sometimes, so I'm gonna do it step by step on how I personally do it. So here we go. I first do the legs. Let's get some more inks here. So you want to get a lighter ink and a darker ink. Let's just do the legs in a dark shade. You can use whatever colors you like, but this is just so it makes it a little bit more anatomically correct, I guess. Then we go with the frilly skirt looking thing. Stamp that. It's kind of see-through, which is what you want. And then I move on to the larger head piece. Stamp that in with some light ink. Stamp that on top of the skirt looking part. There we go. And then I use the smaller head piece. I guess this is like the brain or something. I'm not sure. In the darker ink. And just right in the center. There we go. Then we can accessorize him with the little bubbles or like accent. The forehead. So now let's give him a face. I like to do this in some dark ink. There we go, there's your squid. So with these sets, you really have to, I guess you build your own character. But I think that's fun. You can customize it, you can do different colors for different parts of the stamp, as well as the Fresh Beets set right here, which I personally enjoy. I really love these types of stamp sets. So I hope that gives you some insight on how these types of stamps work. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will be sure to answer them for you. All the links will be down below as well. I hope you enjoyed, and more stamping videos are going to be coming soon. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and maybe give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye!